So you're an online seller and know you need to be promoting your shop, but don't know where to start, right? There are so many ways to market your business, but we're just gonna focus on one today. And this is the main way that I used to grow my business in the beginning, and that is social media. Now don't click off when you hear me say that. I know the world of social media can be really intimidating, but trust me, if you go about it the right way, it can be a powerhouse for building brand awareness for your business. To see success from it though, you have to know how to approach it. And that's why in today's video, I'm giving you 3 proven tips to promote your shop on social media, even if you're a beginner and even if you have no design skills. So enough talk, let's dive on in. Hey friends, welcome back to the channel. If we haven't met yet, I'm Kate. I'm a wife, mama, Etsy seller, and business coach, and I'm here to help you start and scale your online business so that you can make a full-time income doing what you love. Okay, so let's hop into tip number 1, which is to use social media to boost engagement with your audience. It's so important for your audience to know that you really truly care about them and you're not just trying to sell to them. They're more invested in your business when they feel like they've had a part to play in helping you create the products or designs, and they're more likely to come back and check to see what the results were after. That's why it's so important on social media to engage your audience by asking questions, using polls, and things like that. It prompts a response on their part, which increases engagement, and that increased engagement proves to the algorithm of that social media platform that that specific person is interested in what you have to say. So next time they're browsing or scrolling on their feed on that platform, your business page or your group page is more likely to be shown to them. So I'm going to show you an example today of how you can quickly and easily create a graphic to poll your audience on social media. The tool I'm going to be using to design this graphic today is VistaCreate. I want to thank VistaCreate for sponsoring today's video, and I have really loved working on the VistaCreate platform because it is so intuitive and user-friendly, even for beginners and even for people with no design experience at all. VistaCreate has over 60,000 unique and high-quality design templates and is the only graphic design platform that's also a stock library of over 50 million royalty-free assets for your projects. I'm talking photos, videos, and vector files. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite features that'll help you create social media graphics in a matter of minutes that look like they took hours and look super professional. If at any point in this video you're just super impressed and you know you want to try it out, I have the link for VistaCreate down in the description box below. You can click on that and try it totally for free. Okay, so here we are on the main page of VistaCreate. We're going to go up here to templates, and I'm going to use an Instagram story template for this. So I'm going to come over to social media posts, Instagram story, and then I'm going to type up here poll. All right, so now these are all of the templates that are polls or surveys in the size of the Instagram story, and I'm just gonna scroll through these templates and pick one that I like. So I'm gonna choose this one so I can add some pictures to it. Now this is taking me over to the designer where I can edit and switch out whatever I want in this template to make it my own. So for the sake of this example, let's say that I'm a business that sells nursery blankets, and I'm trying to poll my audience for what kind of patterns they would be more drawn to. So here are some spots for photos, and I want to come over here, I'm going to come to photos and type in a few different patterns that I might want to include on this survey. So the first one I'm going to type in is boho rainbow pattern. So I'm going to scroll through the options that come up and choose the one that I want to include on my survey here. Okay, this one looks good. So I'm going to drag that over to the photo slot, and because it's a frame, it fits right in there. The next one, I'm going to type in petals pattern. So again, let's look through these and decide on the one that best represents what I might offer my audience. Okay, I like this one, so I'm going to drag that over into this photo slot. And for the third one, I might want to give my audience a more modern like dot pattern. So I'm going to type in dot pattern, and I think I like this one. Drag that over into this photo slot, and there I have my 3 patterns. Now you can see where the text is. We're going to want to change out the wording for these texts and change possibly the color and the font to match our branding. We can also change this background image. So let's just work through this a little bit to put in the words that we want here. Okay, so you can see I've put rainbow under this caption, petals for this one, and dots for this, and I've changed this main text to say which pattern is your favorite. So now I haven't changed the fonts or the colors at all. I want to show you a few different ways you can do that. So let's say we want to change this one. We can just click on that element and come up here to change the font, and we can see all the options right here for fonts. You can also change the color by coming up to this and selecting the color from here, or from any of the project colors. So this is pulling colors from this project that you can use. It's also pulling colors from the images that you've put in. So each of our patterns, it's showing colors that were put in that. So if I wanted to match one, I could select a color from there. But I can also come over here to brand kits, and this will show me my brand color. So if I want the font to be in one of my specific brand colors, I can choose that. I can also come to where it says brand kits on the far left, and it'll show my options for my brand fonts if I want to easily click on one of my fonts that I've already selected. And I'm going to resize this to the size that I want. There we go. And now I'm going to change each of these captions as well with the font and the color. And lastly, if I want to, I can actually pull over my logo that I have already uploaded to my brand kit, resize that to where I want it, and place that on the image as well. Now, like I mentioned before, I could actually select this background, this watercolor background image, if I wanted to change that out, and I could just delete that and then upload my own picture or image in the background, but I'm actually pretty happy with this, so I'm going to leave that background as is. Now, one feature here that I really love that is unique to VistaCreate is over here on the left. If you click styles, this will give you options for font and color schemes put together. So these are called styles, and you can actually just click on them and it will automatically change your whole design to fit those fonts and those specific colors in that color scheme. So you can actually just click through and see if there's any of these pairs that you really like. So I'm going to just undo these because I want to come back to my brand colors that I used before. All right, so there is our design with our brand colors. Now, once I am happy with my design, I can either click here to download it, and this gives me options for what format I would like to download in, whether it be a JPEG, a PNG, PDF, MP4, or GIF. And then I would just click download. But if I don't necessarily want to download it and I just want to share it in a different way, I can either email and link, I can embed, or I can choose any of the social media platforms to share it on. Once you have the results of your poll in, you're going to want to use those results to inform your product decisions in the future, as well as share the results to boost even further engagement with your audience. All right, let's move on to tip number 2, which is to use social media to announce new products and sales. So a great way to stir up some momentum when things are seeming a little dull is to launch a new product or offer a sale or a discount. This creates a lot of buzz and excitement with your followers and drives traffic to your shop. So in our last example, we created a poll for an Instagram story, but in this example, we're going to create a graphic image for an in-feed Instagram post. So again, we're going to come to our template section and we're going to type in for Instagram post, spring sale. Okay, we're going to choose the one that we like the best to work from. All right, so this is the template we're going to work from to create our discount sale image for an Instagram post. Now, one thing you can do, let's say we want to put our own product photo where that one was, we can actually upload our own. So you would come to My Files. This is where you can upload your own image. So if you have your own product image, which is what you're wanting to showcase, you can upload your image right here and then you would drag and drop it over here. I'm going to just use a stock image for the sake of this example. So let's say we are selling journals. All right, so let's choose one that looks like it might be a product photo that we could use. We're going to drag and drop, and of course resize it to where we want it on this canvas. All right, I'm happy with that, but of course we want this to be in the background like it was before, so we can come up here, we're going to choose Move Layer, Send to Back, and that's going to put it behind all of our text in our other image here. Okay, now let's say we like this flower, but we might want to choose a different type of flower for this image. So we're going to delete that, and I'm going to come over to photos again and type in tulip because that's the kind of flower I would like to use there. I'm going to choose a picture that I like of a tulip. I'm going to place it here. And then I'm going to use one of my favorite features here, which is the remove background feature. So this is automatically going to remove this white background from the flower picture and make it a transparent background, kind of like the other flower looked on top. I love that this background removal feature is completely free on the free plan of VistaCreate. So even if you don't have the Pro plan, you can use this background removal feature completely for free, which on other platforms, it's only on the Pro version. Okay, so there it is with the transparent background. You can see how all we have now is the flower without the background. So we can resize this a little bit if we want to make it bigger. Now the next thing we're going to do, of course, is to put our own wording in here. So I might want to keep spring sale, but I might want this part to say now through Sunday. I want to change both of these to my brand, font, and colors. I'm going to come over here to my brand kit. Now let's say I want to animate this title. This is another really cool feature on VistaCreate. So you can select what you want to animate, come up here to animate, and then you can see it with different effects. So this is the zoom, and I can preview animation. So that's what it would look like if I had it with the zoom effect. Let's see, move in, what that would look like. So you can just go through these and play with the different ones, fade in, and see what you like. And you can just add a little bit of movement, which is a really big deal on social media to get people's attention. So I'm going to add the move in animation for the title there. And then another thing I want to do is come over here to objects. I want to add in my own extra little tag picture. So I'm just going to type in tag and pick something that they have here that I can customize. So I like this circle tag. I'm going to downsize this and bring it over. Actually, I might put it right up here. Now, right now it says Black Friday 70% off, but I can customize this to make it say whatever I want. So I think I'm going to say all journals. Let's say it's a 50% off. Now I might want to change this to match my brand color, so I can select that tag and come up where it says color, and there are all the different colors. There's 3 different ones, black and 2 different gray shades. So let's just play around with this with our brand colors and see what we like here. Okay, I think I like that teal for the background and this sort of medium gray color for the journals part, and I'm going to leave the other white. Now I might want to add one more piece of text here that says what the coupon code is. So I'm going to come over to text, add text. I'm going to put in my coupon code. So let's say that we are happy with this graphic now to announce our big spring sale, and we come up here. Of course, we can always download it like I showed you before, but we have a couple other options here too. We have this little button that says resize, which is such a neat feature because you can actually resize this. Right now it's in the size of an Instagram post, but let's say you wanted to use it for both a post and an Instagram story. You could resize it for a story. You could also resize it for other platforms. So if you wanted to use it on Instagram and Facebook, you could resize it as a Facebook post. You could make it into a poster size or a YouTube thumbnail. There's just a lot of different options here for how you could just automatically resize this. So let's just take a look here. Let's say we want to make this into a Facebook post. We're going to copy and resize that. And here it is, the same one we just created as a Facebook post. Now you can see it made it a little bit wider. So we have a little bit of a white line here. You may have to move that around a little bit. You can use as is, or you can just slightly adjust how you want it for Facebook. Let's come back to our original design here. You can also just click here to publish directly to your Instagram business account, which is an awesome feature, or you can download. All right, let's go ahead and hop into social media tip number 3, which is to use social media to give value to your audience. So this is free value that you're giving to your audience in the form of education or knowledge or teaching them about something or strategies or ideas that are based on something in your specific niche. So just take a minute and think about who your target customer is and try to pinpoint if you could say what their top 3 struggles or pain points specifically dealing with your niche, what those 3 top struggles would be. Now we're talking about creating free content that will bring them value by giving them answers and a solution to those problems. For example, if you sell products in the wedding niche, you might provide for them a free digital guide on basics of wedding planning. If you sell lamps, you might write an article titled 4 types of lighting and the atmosphere that they create. The key here is twofold. First of all, creating this content, and second of all, promoting it on social media. So let's say you sell spa products and you write a blog post all about the different steps that your follower can take to relax after a stressful day. You're finished with the blog post and now you just need to promote it on social media. So let's say for this example that we are promoting this blog post on Pinterest. We're going to come back to our template section over here on social media posts, and we're going to choose Pinterest graphic. And let's say we want to create a checklist graphic. So I'm going to type in checklist. All right, so let's look through these and pick one we like. I think I like this one, so I'm going to use this template, and I'm going to change the title on this. Instead of financial checklist, I'm going to change this to relaxation. So here we have relaxation checklist. Now in my blog post, I likely have different main points that I'm mentioning or advice for my audience to be able to relax. So I'm going to use each of those points here and change the wording to reflect what was in my blog post. Okay, so here I've written 20-minute walk, read favorite book, essential oil bath, talk to a friend, cup of tea, and light a candle. So these are my main points in my blog post that I'm just creating a quick graphic with a checklist so that people who have read my blog post can refer back to this. Now again, we're going to change our fonts. I'm going to come up here. Instead of using my brand fonts this time, I'm going to be a little more creative and look and see what I like here. I might want to try to find something that reflects the idea of relaxation. Now, depending on your font, you may have to resize, but that's okay. You just make it fit the best you can. And then here for checklist, I do like the idea of something bold. Let's see what we can find here. Okay, I think I like that one. Let's change our font for the body of our text here. All right, now the next thing I might want to do is take this background photo out and search over here in photos for something that would fit the idea of relaxation a little better. So I'm going to type that in here and see what comes up in our stock photos. All right, let's try this one. I'm going to resize it. Of course, we can always click on this little paper background if we'd like to change that. We can delete that and put a different photo or a different background in there, but I think I'm happy with the way that that looks. So this is our final design for our Pinterest graphic. Again, we can come up here to download it if we want to save it for later. We can publish it straight to Pinterest, or we can resize. So this is an example of how we could create a graphic for, let's say, Pinterest to drive people to our blog post, which gives them free value based somewhere in our niche. For our example, it's relaxation and spa products, right? So ideally they would read through that blog post where we've also sprinkled in our products and links to our Etsy shop to kind of build a bridge between giving them the free value and leading them to our shop. So I hope those 3 tips were helpful for you. We have using social media to boost your engagement with your audience, using social media to announce a new product or a discount or a sale, and using your social media to give your followers some awesome free content, which then leads to your shop. I hope it was helpful for you to see VistaCreate and all the awesome features that they have on there. Like I said, you can try it out totally for free. It's great for beginners. You can just hop on there and play around with it, see what you can create. They have a web tool as well as an app for both iOS and Android, and it's just a great place to start creating those graphic designs for your social media. Don't forget to click that link in the description box below if you'd like to try VistaCreate. I think you're really gonna love it. See you next time, friends.